The IHC Group is excited to offer Frame Dental, which are dental insurance plans for individuals and families, underwritten by Madison National Life Insurance Company, which is a member of the IHC Group and rated A- Excellent by AM Best. Your bright smile is a reflection of your health. Dental insurance can help cover the cost of exams and procedures while promoting more frequent visits, ultimately keeping you healthier. Oral health is more important than you may realize. Regular dental checkups can help with the early detection of serious medical conditions and increase overall health. Just about anyone can qualify for this product. The eligibility requirements are simple. Anyone who has an attained age of 18 to 99 years old can apply for this plan. Dependent children who are unmarried and under the age of 26 can be added to a plan. Child-only coverage is not allowed at this time, but these plans are guaranteed renewable as long as premiums are paid on time. Frame dental plans are offered either on an indemnity basis or as a PPO plan, and the types of plans that are available will vary by state of residence and the filings that are approved. Let's take a quick look at what the difference is between the two plans so you know how to explain each and market appropriately in your local area. An indemnity plan does not have a network provider, which means the insured can choose any provider or dentist they would like to go to. The charges in excess of the usual and customary and reasonable charge are going to be the responsibility of the insured person. This amount is the most common charge for treatment and services within your geographic area and is determined by the insurance carrier based on claims data and a standard allowance level. A PPO plan, where available, will include a network. The insured will choose a provider or dentist within that network, and networks will vary by state of residence and the filing. When utilizing an in-network dental provider, the network providers have agreed to a negotiated discounted dollar amount for each covered charge. Therefore, if all dental services are received from network providers, you will not be billed for any charges above the allowed amount or maximum allowable charge. When utilizing out-of-network providers, if you receive dental services from a provider that is not included in the network, covered services are limited to the maximum allowable charge. You will receive a bill from the provider if the out-of-network expenses exceed that maximum allowable charge. The PPO network available with the Frame dental plans vary by state, so please refer to that provider directory for a complete list of available network dental providers in your area. You can also find that information on the following slide. The PPO networks that are available with the Frame dental plans will vary by state, so please refer to that provider directory for a complete list of available network dental providers in your area. You will see a gray box. Click here for network availability lists by state, which you can download, and that list will be updated as additional plans in additional states are approved. The primary network for these plans is going to be Aetna. You can look for a list of those providers under www.aetnadental.com. Again, refer to that state list to make sure that you are in the right network for your customer based on their resident state. The Dentamax network is available where Aetna is not approved. That provider website link is www.dentamax.com. Let's dive into the details of the products that are available. There are 3 different plans. Of those 3 different plans, they are either offered on an indemnity basis or a PPO basis based on the resident state of the applicant, as we explained before. On this grid that we're going to go through today, you'll see 3 vertical columns. Each column will determine what the plan benefits are, but let's dive into the actual benefits themselves within each plan design. Depending on the plan selected, either the 500 plan, the 1000 plan, or the 1500 plan, there may be a deductible that is required, which would apply to each covered person per calendar year for all covered services. As you can see here, The 500 plan has zero deductible, so there is no deductible up front that's required when a claim is filed. However, if the 1000 plan is selected or the 1500 plan is selected, it will include a $50 deductible that is required per covered person on the plan per calendar year. Each plan available will also include a maximum benefit amount, which is applicable per covered person on the plan per calendar year. And it's really easy to remember how much benefit is available per year by each plan design because that's the name of the plan. You'll see that there's a $500 benefit on the 500 plan, a $1,000 benefit on the $1,000 plan, and a $1,500 total benefit on the 1500 plan. The next few items that we talk about are going to be benefits and covered services that are going to be available after the insured meets their deductible and up to the maximum benefit amount. We'll talk in more detail about each of these on the following slides, but just to highlight as follows, we're in the preventative care benefit now. Now these percentages are going to be paid after the plan deductible, as I had just mentioned. For the IHC 500 plan, preventative care is offered at 100% coverage with no deductible. The IHC 1000 plan will have a $50 deductible up front, and then it will pay 100% of preventative care up to $1,000. And on the IHC 1500, you have exams and cleanings that are covered at 100%, and topical fluoride and sealants that are covered at 80%. Again, we'll talk about more detail on preventative care on the following slide. These plans will also include 100% of diagnostic care and x-rays after the plan deductible and up to the maximum benefit, at 100% for the IHC 500 and 1000 plans, and at 80% with a 6-month waiting period that's required on the most comprehensive plan, which is the 1500 plan. Some of the plans are going to offer basic care, which includes things like fillings and extractions. On the least comprehensive plan, which is the 500 plan, there is no coverage for basic care. On the 1000 plan, it will cover 50% with a 6-month waiting period. And on the most comprehensive plan of 1500, it's going to cover 80% with a 6-month waiting period. Again, all of these benefits are after the plan deductible and up to the maximum benefit allowed per calendar year per person. Last but not least, when it comes to major care, which includes crowns, bridges, dentures, root canals, periodontics, endodontics, and oral surgery, we only have one plan that includes some benefit for major care, and that would be the most comprehensive plan, the IHC 1500 plan. After the deductible and up to the maximum benefit, it will cover 50% of major care that's covered expenses within the plan design, but there is a 12-month waiting period before an insured can obtain service. Although preventative care is covered at 80% or 100% based on the plan that is selected, there are some limitations per insured person on the plan. It's important to know this and ensure that it is disclosed upon presentation when you're selling these products out in your local market. Quickly looking at the benefit grid here, you can see that routine oral exams and prophylaxis, which is including the cleaning and scaling of the teeth, are limited to 2 per person per calendar year. The topical application for fluoride for dependent children is 1 per calendar year, and that could vary based on the dependent's age and the state based on the state filing. But as a norm, it would be limited to 1 per calendar year. Same goes for sealants, 1 per tooth, but that's every 3 years for specific permanent molars. It's also important to note that for space maintenance, it includes the initial appliance and adjustments within 6 months of the installation for dependent children up to the age of 16. When it comes to basic care, for the 2 plans that includes this type of service, it is important to know that there's also some limitation in what basic care actually is from a covered service standpoint. It will cover fillings. They are limited per insured person. So it will cover the amalgam restorations, which are fillings of holes in teeth, including materials like mercury or other metals. It's also going to include composite restorations, which are limited to the anterior teeth, and bicuspids. It will also include simple extractions and emergency palliative treatment to temporary release pain. For the plans that cover diagnostic care, it's also important to understand that when it comes to bite wing x-rays, it does limit it to 1 per calendar year per insured person. And when it comes to full mouth x-rays, we allow 1 every 3 years per insured person. Major care is only a benefit that is available on the most comprehensive plan, which is the IHC 1500 plan. And again, that is subject to a 12-month waiting period before an insured can take advantage of some of those covered services. Major care includes benefits like endodontic services, periodontic services, oral surgery, surgical extractions, dentures and maintenance, inlays, onlays, and crowns, and bridges. There are some important enrollment guidelines that you need to be aware of that you can convey to your customers. Insureds can select a monthly premium payment option of draft by bank draft or credit card. There is a one-time enrollment fee of $10 per application, which is non-commissionable. The effective date will be the month following the request for coverage or a future date selected if the effective date is not more than 60 days following the enrollment or submission of the application. The draft due date will be the same as the effective date of coverage, and the drafts will be handled according to this following grid. If you have an effective date of the 1st through the 7th, we're going to draft you on the 1st. The 8th through the 14th will be drafted on the 8th. The 15th to the 21st will be drafted on the 15th, and the 22nd to the 31st will be drafted on the 22nd. Fulfillment of these documents are all electronic and available online, so it's very convenient. It is important to ensure that your applicant's email address is accurate to ensure that they get their policy fulfillment documents and online ID cards. As with any insurance plan, there are exclusions and limitations for frame dental which may vary by state and need to be considered. We recommend that you refer to your marketing brochure and policy contract for detail, and we also recommend that you convey this same information to your customer and refer them to such so there's no misunderstanding. Here are a few things to consider that would be excluded and not covered. If it is not deemed medically necessary, if services are received by a family member, fixed or removable bridge work involving replacement of a natural tooth or teeth that were lost prior to the covered person's effective date of coverage, use of materials other than fluorides or sealants to prevent tooth decay, cast restorations, inlays, onlays, and crowns for teeth that are not broken down by extensive decay, or accidental injury for teeth that can be restored by other means. Replacement of third molars are not covered. Periodontal splinting is not covered. Prescription drugs and analgesia premedication. Replacement of partial or full dentures, fixed bridge work, crowns, gold restorations, and jackets more often than once in any 60-month period per tooth. Relining of dentures more often than once in any 24-month period, or any service not specifically listed in the schedule of benefits. Again, refer to your marketing brochure and your policy contract for details and recommend that your customer do the same. The information contained in this training is an outline of features and benefits of the frame dental plans. The policy underwritten by Madison National Life Insurance Company under policy form M&L IDEN POL 0414 and state variations where applicable. This plan does not meet minimal essential coverage requirements for pediatric dental services as a part of the essential health benefits in accordance with the Affordable Care Act provisions. The plan offered may be subject to change. This training is not intended to serve as a legal interpretation of the benefits. Reasonable effort has been made to have this training represent the intent of the contract language. However, the contract language controls and the complete terms of the coverage are determined by the policy. Some provisions, benefits, exclusions, or limitations may vary depending on the client's state of residence, and this product is not available in all states. For more information on Madison National Life Insurance Company or the IHC Group, you may visit www.ihcgroup.com. This concludes training on the frame dental plans offered through the IHC Group and underwritten by Madison National Life Insurance Company. Thank you so much for attending.